see this A.C.D.C. The last time I did the 5-day challenge, day 1 was attract.
Yes.
Day 2, convert, 3, 4. So I was kind of putting all this content, but look, I don't want people to be overwhelmed, so I hide it. And that's how I say I don't know if you've seen, but I open and close my vault, so it makes it exclusive. All that I'm doing is hiding that permission. So all that somebody can see right now, so I can keep this as a freebie.
That's phenomenal.
You like it? Funnelytics is free. And
Stop it! Oh my God! Really? No, I've never heard of it.
But you're gonna love it. Okay. Now, have you built out funnels, or is funnels something like I don't want to?
No, I actually, funny enough, no. I when I met Lori, we were at a retreat of ClickFunnels people. So they started teaching us, but I didn't really do a lot with it, to be honest.
Okay. I'm going to pull up.
It is a campaign. Yeah, you're right.
That's driving people to you, ultimately.
Yes. So ultimately, it's meant to create awareness. You're right.
Okay.
Even if they don't buy anything, it's just them knowing, hey, Bob seems to be the expert. And then that's why I want to geo-target a chamber area, because ideally they talk to each other and build some kind of like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this?
Okay. Yep. So I have a series of questions that we could go through. Like I always start with the assessment.
Yeah.
After that, and I can always send those to you. These are just good things offline for you to consider or think about. But then the very basic, and this is what I talk about on my 5-day, or if you ever see my videos, I call it A.C.D.C TNT. Do you know the band A.C.D.C?
Yeah, of course.
Right? Do you know the song TNT?
Yeah.
So now you'll remember. This is marketing. This is essentially simplified, right?
Okay.
So step number 1 is we at least want to figure out how are we going to attract, convert, deliver, and close, right?
Okay.
What I want to know from you is what is it? Let's go backwards, right? If we reverse engineer. So your close, are you trying to get them on the phone with you? Are you like, what is that ultimate, other than awareness? Obviously there has to be.
I'd love to make this fully automated. So I'd love for them to get the close to be buy this course. So here's a free webinar. Great. Now you can pay whatever to get these 3-module course.
Okay. So let's, for instance, would be purchase.
Yes.
So then you can pull that there. And this is going to be our, why is that so little? That's going to be, right, the reverse engineer.
Yeah.
Let's just make that bigger for us. And then you can add like a little thing here, right? Because if you know where you want them to be, then it's a little easier to go backwards. So your close is to buy course. Now, you mentioned you haven't necessarily developed that yet. That's okay. But do you have an idea of the price range or kind of like where?
I was thinking 2 digits. Like I was thinking maybe $50, $49.97 or some, you know.
Hearing kind of what your thought process is.
Yeah.
Okay. So watch video, right? And video, we can call that, you know, watch video, watch webinar.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Cool. So let's do this. Why can I not? Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is going to be 1 webinar?
Yes. So maybe a 20-minute video, let's say.
Webinar, give or take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yep.
With call to action to buy.
Correct.
Making sense, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so then we have some questions, which we can add under here for both of these. But for now, things to consider, right? Like, 1, what platform? That's, is it going to, do you want this to be an evergreen as
Yes.
many people can get it, or
Yeah,
any like
perfect.
open close?
Yeah, no, I think evergreen would be great. So whether or not I activate an ad to drive to it,
Yep.
even if it were sitting somewhere that still attracted people, that'd be great.
Yep. Okay. Because that's a delivery question I like to ask, because
Yeah.
if it's evergreen, how I do my 5-day challenge, I just, with everything else going on, I'm just like, oh, like
Yeah.
open it, close it, open it, close it. So
Yeah.
those are two good tactics.
Mhm.
So this would be an evergreen. And we can get more into this. Have you thought about like your ideal target audience, like who you want to reach and all of that?
Yeah, so it's meant to target people that are part of a chamber, which means they're usually solopreneur, main street, meaning they're either brick and mortar or home based,
Oh, okay.
but they're usually professional in nature, meaning they're a chiropractor, a doctor, a lawyer. They're not selling products. So somebody's selling
Service-based.
expertise. Yeah. Service based, you're right, but more expertise. Well, I guess service and expertise are the same, really.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
making
for
a
the most
living
part.
based on, like, that's kind of, I mean, I don't have products other than like
Yeah.
sometimes
No,
I
but
have affiliates, but
I'm thinking like a florist would still be an expertise. A cleaning lady would still be expertise. Yeah. So you're right. Service. So someone that I know would be part of a chamber that's not selling a physical product, service based, insurance, right?
Okay.
Like, anyone that's selling some form of knowledge in what they do.
And it
Like,
sounds like B2C services, business to consumer, florists. These people are selling to other consumers.
I never thought, yeah, no, you know what? That's a really good point. Yes, it is. You're
Okay.
right. B2C. You're right.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, where I really specialize. I have a love for working B2B. So my professionals are selling to other job titles, I call it. And again, not that people with not doing B2B, it's not that they're not professional, but they acknowledge themselves by their job title.
Yeah.
And then their first name.
Yeah.
Where people in a chamber, or we have like BNI or PRE,
Yes.
networking events. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. I would target a BNI, or I would target, right?
PRE.
In a certain area. Yeah.
Yep. So where the people that you're targeting, they're B2C. So that's good to know. And that's, again, those are all, like, again, I have questionnaires and things that can help define like that strategy, but just for today's, just kind of where we are, that helps, because then what we can do is better understand, well, where are these people? Because what I always recommend is to don't take on more than 3 platforms to start. You can work your way, but for instance, where your people are, definitely Facebook. I mean, they're going to be on Facebook, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be your only platform. LinkedIn is good. Business directories, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, are they?
I was going to focus on Instagram and Facebook.
This is what happens. People are like, I'm going to go out and figure out all these platforms. And then they're spread too thin and they get overwhelmed, and they're putting little effort into, you can't even put, 20%, you're over capacity, right? So then that's where, and you can always I would recommend we actually put text messaging in the convert, because the attract being, they don't know you yet.
Yes, true.
Right?
Yeah.
But then we would want them, and I just want to make sure that I'm hearing you correctly, and as it's good to kind of exercise through it for the both of us, right? But if we don't have their text message, then there's no way for us to market in this section, but we can then convert them and request that they opt into your text message.
Okay, fair enough.
Campaign, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing as well. That's why I wanted to better understand kind of where you're coming from with the text platform. So we'll move that here. So then let's go back here and say, okay, where are we going to meet these people for the very first time? On Facebook, on TikTok? Before we even attract people, there's really 4 ways that you can attract people. Paid advertising, organic, inbound, and outbound. So let's talk about this for a second. When you're on Facebook, or let's say TikTok, right? And just from, you know, and I see you posting, and I think, by the way, I loved all your journal entry posts. They were great.
Yeah.
Are you looking to rely heavily on organic and inbound rather than paid advertising and outbound? And I can explain. Paid advertising being SEO, pay per click, Facebook ads, anything paid, right? Do you see yourself doing any of those? Yeah.
I was thinking Facebook paid ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll write that down for a sec. Ads. Then, what about organic on Facebook, which would be like what you're doing with the with the posts that you're doing, and also.
Yeah, the challenge with organic for me is that the whole reason why I'm doing this series as well is people don't know me.
Okay.
So organic is tough because they're not connected to me or my network, right?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. This is good. I always like to kind of go through these. So paid, can be a variety, and then paid inbound. You want to pay so that they're coming to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask outbound. Is there any interest, or are you open to doing outbound, whether it be Facebook Messenger, or basically you're connecting with these people and connecting with them, but you are taking the time, you're prospecting, right? Like this is what some people do. You see it more on Facebook and LinkedIn. Outbound being like, for instance, this is a great one I can show you. So again, I'm more on LinkedIn, but I'll connect with somebody, and then like we just started a connection. Hey, I'm always excited to connect with other event professionals. Yeah, event planner, because that's what she is. Like you personalize it. So do you mostly work with private events? Same here. Yes, that's right. Blah, 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 blah. Like you have that outbound connection, but then you can see it's more time, but then I converted her and we had a Zoom call. I paid $0, but I spent more time.
Yeah, this is meant to be a fairly automated evergreen, so I don't know that I would, do an outbound.
Then something to consider, and the reason why I like going kind of through that exercise is like it tells you where your time and are you willing to put in the dollars for a campaign versus the time for the outreach. And plus it just depends on kind of what you're going for. Now, are you looking to do the Facebook ads yourself, or is that something that you need help, or I don't do them, but I could connect you with, but I would be cautious of spending your own like.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about, I was going to do them myself because I'm in a program for it. I just haven't started the program yet. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, the TikTok would be purely organic. So the idea of TikTok is I would do like a 15 to 30 second video, like aha video that, you know, gets them thinking about some of the content that it's in the webinar.
Okay.
And then just drive them to a link in the bio, which is either Instagram or YouTube. So I guess it would be the Instagram link.
Yep. So that was the other question would be, and you mentioned Instagram before, so I'm glad we kind of walked through that. Yeah. Would be if you have Instagram, because TikTok works really nicely to actually convert people to Instagram.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
And then Instagram, it's super easy to have like that link in bio. Do you have actually, are we on each other's Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Bob. Yeah.
Because it's not the webinar yet. It's just the landing page to opt in. When they do that, they also, you can give a opt in to like a checkbox to opt into your text message too. Okay. Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
So here, and here, all three of these platforms, ultimately, we want to convert them into a webinar landing page. Are we? Then the question becomes, which platforms do you want to use the webinar? How are you going to manage all of these things? Because what we just figured out was the attract, convert, deliver, and close. Step 2, which we don't have to do today by any means, is we want to figure out how can we add in these additional components to make the campaign even more effective?